Israel Houghton has a song, and it says, Lord of the breakthrough. Lord of the breakthrough. You are the Lord of the breakthrough, and we worship you. And I think our problem is that we only see our breakthrough through our eyes. If he don't do it like this, then it can't be done. And I'm a living witness just this week alone. Sometimes he don't have to do nothing but just give you favor.
That's right.
Yes.
Nothing changed. Finances didn't change. Job didn't change. Ain't nobody give you nothing but his favor.
Come on.
Lord of the... Oh, y'all.
Favor. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. Oh, yes.
Thank you, God.
Thank you for your goodness, Lord.
If you have your Bibles, journey with me to Ezekiel chapter 9. Ezekiel chapter 9. Ezekiel chapter 9, and we'll begin reading at verse 3. And the glory of the God of Israel was gone up from the cherub, whereupon he was, to the threshold of the house. And he called to the man who clothed with linen, which had writer's inkhorn by his side. And the Lord said unto him, Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and cry for all the abominations that have been done in the midst thereof. And to the others he said in mine hearing, Go ye after him through the city, and smite, and let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children, and women, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. Then begin at the ancient men which were before the house. You may be seated. And set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abomination that have been done in the midst thereof. The time allotted to me this morning, we're just going to talk about standing out. Standing out, set apart. You'll find through your lifetime, whether it be your mother, your grandmother, your cousin, or your auntie, or your significant other, that at some time they will get something done from a male point of view that may be minute, and they will want you to notice it immediately when they walk in the room. Jesus. Oh, she got a new haircut. She wants you to catch it quick. She got new glasses. She wants you to notice. She's wearing new makeup. She wants you to notice. She got on heels that she's never had on before, and she wants you to catch it quickly. She wants, because it should stand out to you because it's different. Does it stand out? For believers, too often our alleged change is not noticeable. We go to church, we carry a Bible on Sunday, but in living life, the change that should be shown, the new spiritual hairdo, the new spiritual shoes, the new spiritual outlook on life, is not all visible. And like a woman, we get frustrated when people don't see that change in us. I You shouldn't have to announce that I'm saved now. You shouldn't have to announce that I love God now. You shouldn't have to announce that my life has been changed. Context, Israel, like we do, has gotten in some trouble. And the trouble this time has vexed God to the point of, okay, I'm going to show you better than I can tell you. And he calls Ezekiel, and if you read the previous chapters, before Ezekiel has the opportunity to plead for the people, God pulled him up to the third heaven and showed him from a heavenly point of view. So before you try to say, no, Lord, let me show you what I see from my vantage point. Side note real quick, would it be scary to see your life as God sees? Come on. See, we're sitting here and we worship, but if we saw it from the other side, would we be so, is God so pleased with what he, oh, y'all gonna be quiet today. So he pulls Ezekiel up and he lets Ezekiel see everything that Israel is doing from his vantage point. And because he does that, Ezekiel has not a leg to stand on in which to argue, because he can see all the abominations. He can see that all the people's hearts have been turned away from God.
My Lord.
And what happened is they started fellowshipping with some folk that had some different ideas. And they allowed those ideas to be put on them. And because their way was easier than the way they'd known, they said, I'll just run this way. And if you allow me to just go a different way real quick, it seems just like our country right now, where some people with some different ideas that's different from ours. Yes. And because it's easier, we're starting to go that way because, well, it's easier. And, you know, the Bible was written 2,000 years ago, and this is a new generation and a new dispensation that I don't know if God had planned out for this. So instead of standing out, we start fitting in. We start assimilating to what's easy. We start assimilating to political correctness. We don't call sin no more because it's not politically correct. We don't tell each other that we live in wrong because it's not politically correct. And so when God sends out his census to see, okay, which one of y'all deserve the mark? How many will he oh, y'all gonna be quiet today. Because see, all of Israel was supposed to be God's, and they were all supposed to be his children. But I had to get somebody to mark the special, because everybody wasn't doing what they should have been doing. Just because we come and sit in these four walls don't mean that we're doing what we should be doing. Are we standing out? Now imagine you're Ezekiel, and God has called you, and he's showing you what he's about to do. And you notice that the man in the linen clothing with the inkhorn ain't finding a lot of folk. The man with the inkhorn and the linen clothing is not finding a great number of people. And Ezekiel begins to weep. God, are you going to wipe us off the face of the earth, us, your people?
Come on.
And see, what happens is when we get happy, when we get a little bit of something, history shows us that we relive this out over and over and over again. We know the text, but we live it out. Come here, America. In the 1920s, we had just got out of World War I. And we was happy, and we had 4 nickels to rub together, and they call it the Roaring 20s. Why? Because we spent money like we lost our mind, and we had a good time, and they had prohibition, but it didn't stop us from getting drunk every night. We found a way, and we forgot who God was. So quick, in 1929, he said, I'll humble you, and the stock market crashed, and all the money went away, and the crops died, and all of a sudden, there's a depression, and then when there's a depression, everybody runs back to God. Oh, y'all.
Come on now. Come on.
And so we go through that for about 15 years, and we go to war, and then war makes everything right. And we come back, and now we're good, but all of a sudden, the decade of the 60s comes, and we lost our mind again.
Tell them.
And there was the flower children. And we started experimenting with some new drugs, and we wanted to hallucinate, and we forgot who God was again. And we got into a war that had nothing to do with us.
That's right.
And over 60,000 of us died for a war that had nothing to do with us. And when we came back home, we were broken, physically and emotionally. And again, we went looking for God again, but then we went looking for God in places that weren't like him. We assimilated. All these communes came, all these new religions started popping up. And the 70s is a decade again of drugs and disco, and homosexuality becomes popular and it rises. And all of a sudden, okay, y'all still ain't learned nothing, and then we get the 80s. And what's the 80s? God allowed your own government to fund their secret agency through killing off a generation of men. What am I talking? The CIA is literally funded by selling heroin to black Americans. You can Google it, it's documentations, they've been redacted, they can show it to you. It was allowed to happen because we needed a wake up.
Yes.
And the only ones that survived are the ones that clung to him. If you did not cling to him, you did not make it out of that decade. Everybody's family got touched because somebody's uncle, somebody's auntie got caught up in an epidemic that was set up to get rid of an entire people. Because we turned away from what unified us in the 50s and the 60s, when we was all going to church and chasing Jesus and we shall overcome. And when we thought we overcame,
Come on now.
we turned out, And the 90s come, and the 90s produces violence because now we got all these drug kingpins who have to control that. Y'all. And the only people that are surviving are the ones that's chasing after him. Because if you're not chasing after him, he is the only thing that allows you not to get caught up. Watch this.
Come on.
You think it's your intelligence, you think it's your moral. No, it is him.
That's right.
That's right.
Because see, when you get depressed enough, when you get tired enough, when you get frustrated enough, what do? If I can't beat them, I may as well join them. Oh, y'all gonna be quiet. How much stuff in life have we said we'd never do and we got frustrated and we went ahead and did it?
Yes.
God, I'll never do that. I'll never touch that, God. That'll never be me. And it ends up being the only thing that keeps you from going all the way is him.
That's right.
Oh, I'm just gonna be quiet in here. See, we all been frustrated to the point that we were gonna do something stupid.
Amen.
We done drunk too much and we was gonna get in the car, but God. We thought about God, I may as well end it all right now because I'm tired, but God. We done all had these ignorant thoughts.
Come on now.
But grace and mercy.
Yes.
And see, where are you less grace and mercy? God is looking for a people. See, he had to go sign them because there was no Holy Ghost then. But my Bible tells me in the New Testament, when you get the Holy Ghost, you are sealed.
Come on now.
So you should already have a sign. Oh, y'all gonna be quiet.
That's right. That's right.
And we should stand out enough that we should not be assimilating to what is being told to us that we know is contrary to text. We got to stop accepting everything that they present and just because they're presenting it. I told my sister that this year they're going to have grown folk ed, PG, grown folk ed in the 4th grade, and they're teaching them some stuff that we don't believe in. So we need to sign a waiver to pull my child out because guess what? You're not going to teach him something contrary to what I believe.
Come on now.
And see, we got to stand up. Enough's enough.
That's right.
That might be what you believe, but we don't roll like that.
That's right.
So you can keep your evolution and all, but Genesis 1 tells me.
That's right.
Now, if you fit Genesis 1 in there, then we can have a conversation. But I'm not going to let you negate the text. Oh, y'all going to be
Come on.
today.
Come on.
God is looking for some people that is going to stand up and say, enough is enough.
That's right.
And then when you do it on a political and a social level, we got to start doing it on a personal level.
That's right.
Because see, it's easy to tell somebody else they're wrong. It's easy to tell somebody else that they is messed up and this is broke down. But then now it's time to come home.
That's right. Right.
And tell yourself, enough is enough. How long am I going to be in this cycle?
Come on.
How long am I going to keep doing this?
Come on.
How long are we going to say next year is going to be the Too many next years, not enough now. How many what ifs are we going to continue to have? Because what if I had did it yesterday? What if I had it? What are we going I'm going to do it. I'm going to stand out now. Nobody else might believe. Nobody else might not understand. But I know what God told me. It's time out for trying to assimilate the stuff that ain't God. We're trying to fit into everything but Him. Fit into everything but His will.
Come on.
Jesus.
And it's outside of His will that we get lost. Outside of His will that where we find trouble. Outside of His will that we incur stuff that He never intended for us to incur.
Amen.
God, you said you wouldn't put more on me than I could bear. I didn't put that on you. You put it on yourself.
Come on now.
And then it's God saved me. God rescued me.
Yes.
I don't know what the next trend is that's coming. I don't know what the next thing is, but I know I don't want to be found in it if it's not in Him.
That's right.
And it looks good and it looks fun and everybody's doing it, but everybody ain't going to heaven, and I want to go to heaven.
Thank you, Lord.
Standing out is not an easy process. When everybody in Israel decided, okay, I'm going to be sexually perverted, and it's the way to go, and we're going to be out front about this, and everybody's doing it, and you're the only one who's saying, no, I'm not. Everybody's worshiping at the high places because it's easier. Everybody burning incense to other gods because it's easier. It's hard to be the one to say, no, not me. It's hard to be the one to stand up and bow your back and say, I'm going to be different.
Help Jesus.
Oh, y'all gonna be quiet. I have a pastor friend, and the hardest thing he had to do is he took over a church that was stuck in tradition. Matter of fact, I have two pastor friends, went through the same thing, and they had to go in and not go against text, but go against the tradition of man. And see, when you go in like that, you're going to lose some folk. But am I going to have faith enough that God will replace the one with two? For everyone that leaves, God will send me two. Because I'm doing it His way.
Come on now.
So one pastor had to leave a denomination because he figured, it's not the denomination is bad, but they ain't exegeting the text properly, and I believe something different.
Jesus.
So he took the giant step of, I'm going to back away from that and stand on my own. And whoever stays, stays, and whoever goes, goes. Because for God I live and for God I die, and it ain't about land. I'm going to stand on His word.
Hallelujah.
We need more people like that. More people who are willing to stand up for right. Biblical right. Not what man then made up. Not what grandmama and them said is the way, but for text. We got to be different. We ought to be different.
Thank you, Lord.
We different on purpose. The call of holiness is the call to being set apart. Why we spend so much time with God? Because you need to be consecrated and That's why it's important that you're in your word every day. That's why it's important that you're praying every day. That's why it's important that we fast and pray. Because I'm not going to be in His will if I ain't hearing from Him.
Hallelujah. Glory, glory.
And we only turn down the plate when we get in trouble. We only turn down the plate when it's cute. It's the beginning of the year. Oh, we're going to do the Daniel fast when we last a week. We only do it when it's cute. But it ought to be a part of our lifestyle.
Amen. Amen.
Are we laying on our face enough and say, God, just speak. I'm not going to say nothing. I'm not going to put up a petition for me or nobody else. God, I just want to hear from you.
Come on now.
Speak, God. Because I want to be in your will. I want to be what you want me to be. My goal in life is to be everything He wants me to be. And it's going to take some different stuff. You still in there studying? Yes. because I need to be in his face. You still in there praying? Yes, because I need to be in his face. You got to go do that again? Y'all going to church again tonight? Yes, because I need to be close to him.
Amen.
You pick up any other new habit, positive or negative, people won't trip. You start smoking, oh, you smoke now? One time, it's over. You start going to the gym, oh, you lifting now? Anything that you start going to church. Again? You start reading your daily bread at work. You reading that again? It's different.
Yes.
And the easy thing to do is to lay it down so people can be quiet. But the standout thing to do is like, yes, and I'll be doing it again tomorrow. Same time, come back and see me.
That's right. That's right. Come on now.
See, as much as they complain about what you're doing, they learn from what you do. So watch.
Right.
I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden, it started off as, okay, when he eats lunch, he prays, and we wait for him to pray. Now everybody's saying grace.
That's right.
See, I ain't got to invite him in here. I just want him to get in Nick. All they're doing is watching, and they, okay, so that's important.
Right.
And now they're picking up. When you ask me how I'm doing every day, I say all is well. All might not be well, but I'm going to walk out my day like all is well.
That's right.
And now they're catching it. You just restrain somebody, but all is well. They in there throwing that, but all is well. They messed up your paycheck, but all is well.
All is well.
And see, and so now it's catching on. Oh, I'm good. It's going to be all right. And now their minds
Come on now.
off of living it out in front of them. And when God says the time is right, then I can go and walk the Romans road. But when he says,
Amen.
See, the big part we miss when we witness is we want to run at people and just beat them over the head with the word. When God says it's time.
That's right.
But see, it might not be my job to go there.
Come
But
on.
some plant and some water. And
Come on, Pastor. Come on, Pastor. Yes.
all we got to do is live it out in front of folk.
Yes.
And folk can't see it if we ain't living it.
That's right.
The ones who claiming it.
That's right. Amen.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus.
This week when we go to God, God, what can I do to stand out more for you? What can I do to shine more, not for me, not for my own glory, but to stand out for you? The thing that sticks out to me in this text is he says, I want you to go find people who basically are grieved in their spirit about what's going on. See, when we see stuff that's anti-God, it should mess with you.
Yes.
On the inside.
That's right. Right.
And see, what happened is we've become so tolerant of everything. That's just another news story. Another baby just got snatched. The enemy don't want to hear this. But another baby just got snatched. That's another Amber Alert. That's another rape case with a celebrity. And you become desensitized
Come
to
on.
everything.
Come on.
Everything.
But if we, the body of believers, hear stuff that's anti the text, it should bother us from a spiritual perspective. Let alone that some of the stuff that's going on is just downright nasty and wrong, but from a spiritual perspective, it should bother you.
Yes.
When you hear about certain things, you should instantly go in prayer because God, that don't sit in my spirit right.
My Lord. Help Jesus.
Hmm.
Oh,
But
God.
we done got too complacent with our spirituality.
Yes.
We done got to the point where everything is doing too much. Oh, it don't take all that. And when you on the upper side of them gates, I wonder, is it still not going to take all that?
Come on now. Come on. That's right.
Help us, Lord.
We read the text and we kind of forget. I'm paraphrasing now, but wide is the road that everybody want to be on. But narrow is the road we need to be on. And I hate to break it to you, it's narrow and sometimes it ain't paved because don't nobody else want to
Come on now. That's right.
You in the woods and you say, God, I don't see this path. You can just keep walking.
Come on. Come on.
Come here, Abram. I'll send you to a place that I'll show you. And make it. Now, somebody's already occupied that place, but you ain't never been there before. Just start walking. Jonah, I want you to build something that the world has never seen. We ain't never seen one that big before. I just want you to do it. It will seem it's not paved. And can you stand out enough to walk a path that nobody else has ever seen? Nobody else has ever seen. Let me tell you, it's not easy to be John the Baptist. I ain't even talking about the eating of the insects and the wool coat. I ain't even talking about, it's not easy just being him.
Amen.
Because I'm coming to tell you about something you've been waiting for thousands of years and you ain't going to believe me. But it's still my job to preach this. And it's not me, but it's him that's coming. It's not easy to be Paul to go from killing saints to bringing saints to Christ. And it's the first time we'd ever seen that. So, of course, everybody's scared at first because, okay, Paul's coming, we need to run. And he's got to figure out a way to assimilate enough that people hear the message that God has given him. It's not easy to be Peter, who's considered the first pope of the Roman Catholic Church, which Christianity came out of. It's not easy to be the first anything because they've never seen it before. And we keep asking God for these original callings, these original, God, I want to do something that ain't nobody else ever done. You sure? It takes a lot to walk that path.
Amen.
But our God and his grace is sufficient. This week when we go to God, God, what do I need to do to stand out? God bless you.
Oh,